Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving deep into the life and mind of a true American original, a poet, philosopher, and essayist whose words have echoed through generations, Ralph Waldo Emerson. What made this man a cornerstone of American thought? Let's find out. Born in Boston in 1803, Emerson was destined for a life of the mind. His father was a Unitarian minister, and the young Ralph was surrounded by books and intellectual discourse. He followed the expected path, attending Harvard at just 14 years old and later becoming a minister himself. But Emerson was a restless soul. He found the rigid doctrines of the church confining. After the tragic loss of his young wife, Ellen, he experienced a profound crisis of faith. This personal tragedy became a catalyst for change. In 1832, he resigned from the ministry, packed his bags, and set sail for Europe. This trip was a turning point. In Europe, he met the great thinkers of the day, like Thomas Carlyle, Samuel Taylor Coleridge, and William Wordsworth. These encounters ignited his own philosophical fire. When he returned to America, he was no longer just a former minister. He was a man with a mission. He settled in Concord, Massachusetts, a town that would soon become the epicenter of a new intellectual movement. This movement was transcendentalism. It's a big word, but the core idea is simple and powerful: the belief in the inherent goodness of humanity and nature. Transcendentalists like Emerson argued that the ultimate truths of the universe transcend, or go beyond, what we can experience with our senses. They believed that intuition and personal experience were the truest guides to knowledge and that divinity resides within every individual and all of nature. Emerson became the voice of this new philosophy through his brilliant essays and captivating lectures. In 1836, he anonymously published a short book that would become the cornerstone of transcendentalism, Nature. In it, he beautifully articulates his belief that we can find a direct connection to the divine by immersing ourselves in the natural world. He wrote, "In the woods, we return to reason and faith. I become a transparent eyeball. I am nothing. I see all. The currents of the universal being circulate through me. I am part or parcel of God." Isn't that an incredible image? A transparent eyeball seeing everything, connected to everything. A year later, in 1837, he delivered a speech at Harvard called The American Scholar. This speech has been called America's intellectual declaration of independence. Emerson called for American thinkers to break free from European traditions and to create their own unique cultural and intellectual identity. He urged scholars to learn from nature, from books, and from action, and to trust their own minds. He was telling a young nation to find its own voice. Perhaps Emerson's most famous essay is Self-Reliance, published in 1841. This is where you'll find some of his most quoted lines, like, "To be great is to be misunderstood," and "Whoso would be a man must be a nonconformist." The central message is a powerful call to individualism. Emerson challenges us to trust our own instincts, to avoid foolish consistency, and to live authentically according to our own inner truth, rather than conforming to the expectations of society. He believed that each individual has a unique genius, a divine spark that they must discover and follow. Emerson's home in Concord became a hub for other brilliant minds. He was a mentor and close friend to Henry David Thoreau, another giant of American literature. He provided Thoreau with both intellectual support and the land on Walden Pond where Thoreau conducted his famous 2-year experiment in simple living. Their friendship, though sometimes complex, was a powerful force in both their lives. Emerson's circle also included Margaret Fuller, a pioneering feminist and author, and Bronson Alcott, an innovative educator. Together, they formed the Transcendental Club, a group dedicated to discussing and developing these revolutionary new ideas. But Emerson wasn't just a philosopher locked away in an ivory tower. He was a deeply engaged public intellectual. He was a staunch abolitionist, speaking out forcefully against slavery, calling it a moral stain on the nation. While he was not an activist in the same vein as some of his contemporaries, he used his powerful voice and platform to advocate for social justice and reform, believing that individual moral transformation was the key to societal progress. His influence is hard to overstate. Emerson's ideas about individualism, self-reliance, and the connection between humanity and nature have profoundly shaped American identity. He inspired generations of writers and thinkers, from his contemporary Walt Whitman, who called Emerson his master, to modern-day leaders and artists. His words encourage us to look within ourselves for answers, to find the sublime in the everyday, and to have the courage to forge our own path. As he grew older, Emerson's memory began to fail him, but his spirit remained bright. He had become known as the Sage of Concord, a beloved national figure. When he passed away in 1882, the nation mourned the loss of one of its greatest minds, but his legacy was secure. So, why does Ralph Waldo Emerson still matter today? In a world that often feels noisy and demanding, full of pressures to conform, Emerson's call to trust thyself is more relevant than ever. His writings are a timeless reminder to slow down, to connect with nature, to listen to our own inner voice, and to live with intention and purpose. He teaches us that our own experience is valid, our own thoughts are valuable, and that within each of us lies the potential for greatness. What's your favorite Emerson quote or idea? Let me know in the comments below. His work is so rich, and I'd love to hear what resonates most with you. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey into the life of Ralph Waldo Emerson. If you enjoyed this video and want to explore more great minds from history, please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss our next adventure. Until next time, stay curious.